your perspective, your opinion on should we have concern about being able to have access to our bank accounts or our brokerage accounts in the event of a reset?
Yeah, you should absolutely be concerned. At this point, this is no longer opinion. This is math. Mathematically, this system, the current system, cannot continue because there's too much debt. The debt that's out there now can never be repaid. And in order to repay it, they've got to create the capital for the interest. In other words, the interest doesn't exist to pay on the current debt. And it goes back to Richard Russell's inflate or die. They're going to have to continually inflate. And where we are right now with the Fed talking about tapering, that's pretty much laughable because the system has survived since 2008 on life support, if you will. And now they're talking about taking life support away. It'll be all over. Now, as far as your banks are concerned, your brokers are concerned, if you own stock, and myself and my partner Jim Sinclair have talked about this. Jim talked about this going all the way back to 2004, maybe 2005, that if you have stocks and you're not a trader, you should have those certificates issued to you. That way, if your broker goes bankrupt, it doesn't matter. You have your certificate. And if there's another broker that's still open and running, you can just go to another broker, deposit your securities, and sell them. I suspect for a spell, markets, banks, etc., are going to close. Whether it's 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, who knows? But it's a very real probability at this point that you're going to see markets close, because when they do lose control, of all markets, basically, what's the reaction going to be? I would suggest the reaction is going to be they pull the plug and they close markets. As a matter of fact, you just saw that happen today in Turkey. Their central bank has lost control of the currency. The currency is collapsing. Their market was down really hard last week. It opened down 5% today, and they closed it. So worrying about markets and banks closing, that's a very real concern. Now, as far as the banks are concerned, I typically don't keep much more than 6 months worth of bills in a bank. If I get a large inflow of money or a large check or whatever, my personal savings, I just buy junk silver. I buy junk silver, I have it stored. And obviously you have to have metal on hand, but I use junk silver as my savings because I know that I can't wake up tomorrow morning and find out my bank closed and the accounts have been bailed in. And if you look at FDIC legislation, the bail-ins are already, the laws are already written. They're already on the books. So this next time around, there will not be bailouts. There will be bail-ins. Well, the way the law is actually written, once you deposit, quote, deposit money with your bank, it's no longer your money. What you've done is you've lent the money to the bank. And the way the law reads, you are a creditor. So if your bank goes down, then you've got to get in line in bankruptcy court to get your portion back. And as I just mentioned, they're going to bail in rather than bail out. And if you want to see the roadmap for a bail-in, just go back to, I think it was 2013 or 14. Look at Cyprus. People went to bed on Friday night with 100 euros, and they woke up Monday morning and only had 30. So that was the test bail-in, and that was 7-8 years ago. If you can pay your mortgage off and you've locked in a rate of, 3%, 4%, 5%, I would be inclined not to pay the mortgage, but to hold metal alongside that. In other words, pretty much my whole life, I've owned enough gold and enough silver to pay off all my debt. And this goes back to when I was in my 20s. So it gave me comfort knowing that if the system did collapse, I would have the ability to pay my debt off in something that was not going to bankrupt if the entire system bankrupted.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dan, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dan.